Man, it feels good to sit down for a few minutes here. Holy cow, it has been absolute chaos this week. We have gone through an unbelievable amount of bait, and we have so many bears on the baits that are just pounding the baits. It's unbelievable. I thought last year was a complete anomaly, but it's basically the same again this year, where we have, I suppose we're feeding about 100 bears right now, and most of them are on the baits multiple times a day. Apparently, there's just not much natural food. I mean, I thought it was going to be a year where there was quite a bit more natural foods than there was last year. There was a lot of choke cherries, hazelnuts and stuff, but the choke cherries are gone. The berries are gone. It's just kind of crazy right now. I just sent Josh to Wildwood. He took 26 empty barrels down there, and he's bringing 12 more barrels of the mix back with him. And I hope the 12 more barrels will get me through this season. We got hunters coming in this weekend. Mosquitoes are bad, but they're actually getting a little bit better. The numbers have gone down. It's been fairly dry. Now it's supposed to start raining again. We got several days where we got scattered showers coming up and potential thunderstorms, but overall it's been pretty good. I'm going to pause this for a second, go get a thermocell. Okay, I'm back. So here's a few things I'm going to go through. There's some things I'm sure that you're interested in, because you're seeing a few brown bears on these trail camera pictures. We've got I suppose 10 to 15% bears that are not black, and I almost never have cinnamons in this area. I've never had a blonde, but you know, probably 15% brown bears is about what we're running. They tend to be pretty dark brown, although we have some that are a little bit lighter, and there's a lot of people that are interested in those. It's really difficult to put somebody on a bait where you can say, okay, you're probably going to be able to shoot a brown bear on this bait. You know, if somebody specifically is really interested in a brown, I'll try to put them on a bait where there's been a brown bear, but honestly, it's so hard to keep track of them because there's so many baits with so many different bears. Man, it's chaotic to try to nail it all down. I'm getting literally, you know, hundreds and hundreds of trail camera pictures and videos per day, and I can't even watch all the videos. You know, I scan the trail camera pictures and kind of look at what we got. I save a few, you know, that are, you know, look interesting or something like that. Interestingly, in the last video, I said we don't have any sows with this year's cubs on it. And the very next day after I said that, we got a bait with the sow with this year's cubs on it. We got a few sows with yearling cubs. We picked up a few more. We've actually continued to pick up more bears. Now, we lose some bears. The acorns are really dropping right now. And we also have an interesting situation where bears from this area tend to migrate south where there's more oak trees. So we lose some bears about this time every year. But we're also continuing to pick up more and more bears all the time. I'm getting some kind of really lanky looking bears that they're not eating very well, and when they hit the baits they just stay there. I mean, I got one bear that hit a bait a couple days ago and literally stayed at the bait for about 30 hours and didn't even leave. He just slept through the night, and that bait had been really slow, and we had a big bear on there that disappeared here about a week ago. I think he's one of these that took off and went to the acorns. And this new bear showed up, and he just literally slept there and everything. He just stayed at the bait, and he's just gorging himself. One of the reasons why I think this happens is that we continue to spray and do things like we're trying to attract more bears. And I think that's crazy, probably, when you think about we're going through hundreds of dollars worth of bait every single day to try to keep getting more bears. But bears come and bears go. And we've got some baits that have had a dozen or more bears that have visited them. They got maybe 6 to 8 that are just regulars there all the time. We've got one bait where I have 5 bears on camera that are at the bait at one time. And we're spraying Northwoods bear spray every time we bait. And so as some of the bears move to different areas, and bears travel long distances, is one thing that we know from these GPS collars, that these bears, even if the food is available, a lot of times they have what they normally do every fall and they just do it. So we have more bears coming. Like I had a bait here just a couple days ago where a brown bear showed up, and when it showed up within the next 12 hours, I had 2 piles of big scat that was full of corn. And so somebody's baiting with corn. Well, I got news for you. That bear just found my bait, and whoever's baiting with corn, you're not getting him back, because he's been there a couple times a day, every day since he found it. And that just illustrates the value of using really high quality bait, because that bear, he's going to be there hopefully right on through until maybe somebody will shoot him, but we'll probably be putting somebody on that stand within the first 3 days of the hunting season. I mean, we need to start killing some of these bears so we can quit feeding them. Holy cow, it's just unbelievable the amount of food that we're putting out of there, and the cost of it is just astronomical. I've always been a big believer in free feeding and just give them as much as they can eat and keep them close. I want them to fill their belly and go lay up nearby so that when they get hungry, they're close and they come right back. I always think it's a really bad thing to let them run out of bait. Now, we got a couple baits that they're going through it so fast that we can't put enough out there. They're running out every day, and we had a couple barrels that got completely smashed up. We've had barrels torn off the trees. I've got places where I put a second barrel out. I got places where I took a 30-gallon drum down and put a 55-gallon barrel out, and we still can't keep up with them. But I really believe to give them as much food as they can possibly eat. Right now, I'm starting to question if there is a top-end limit to that. I mean, how many bears? I got 15 or I think 18 tags altogether of people that we're trying to get bears for, and how many do we really need to be feeding 100 bears? I don't know. You know, every time that you hunt a bait, the opportunity, the chances, odds, or whatever, of killing a bear on that bait goes down a little bit. We've had baits that we've killed multiple bears off of, and sometimes when these bears are hitting and hitting and hitting multiple times a day, you can kill a bear and just give it a day of rest, come back in there, and the bears are back. So we'll see what happens, but I'm always questioning my strategy, so we'll see. We got a bear with something around his neck, and I'm going to show you this video right here, and if there's somebody out there that's watching this that recognizes what this is a 6-sided thing. When I first saw him, I thought, is that a GPS collar or what? And it's not. It is a 6-sided ring around his neck, and this is a big bear. This bear's probably pushing 400 pounds, and it's either made out of aluminum or some kind of plastic or something like that. And I would like to know what this is, and if we shoot this bear, I'll let you know. He's there a lot. We got a really good chance of killing him if somebody wants to, but there's no doubt in my mind that the neck fur is going to be damaged on this bear, so we'll see. But if you recognize this thing, let me know in the comments what it is. So we got hunters coming in a couple of days, and we're going to start killing bears and showing you footage of the bear hunts itself, and we really do appreciate that you're watching, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's a really good year to draw a tag. I'm pretty happy for the guys that are coming. I just think there's a really good chance that everybody's going to have a chance to shoot a bear again. That's been my history with this system that I'm using, and while I'm actually questioning it a little bit at times because of the overall cost, I just love the idea that I can feel confident that when somebody comes to this camp, I'm going to be able to put a bear in front of them. And not every guide has that kind of confidence, and so it's pretty valuable to me. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in a few days.